What?
So do not show our extremely messy house.
Our house is not messy.
You're right, it's extremely messy.
You guys ready to go on a trip? Where are we going?
Death Valley.
Is it gonna be warm there?
This place is freezing cold.
Yeah. Are you gonna miss us?
Terrible.
This is actually the first trip that we've gone on.
You say that like you said that like the last 3 trips.
This is the first trip we've gone on out of Utah.
That's false.
Holy moly, there is so much snow outside. I can't tell if you can see me or not. So, here we go. How's that? Is that better? Hey, welcome back. Sorry I've been a little sparse. These, I don't know, last couple weeks, I've been really sparse. With Christmas and the holidays, and I don't know, I took a little bit of time off, and then I published the last video. And then I've just had a lot of work stuff going on. Lots of little things are going on. Plus I just took my real estate broker exam for the state of Utah and passed, by the way, which completely blew my mind because I've never passed one of these state licensing exams on the first try. So I'm just totally blown away and stoked by that, especially since I didn't have the time that I wanted to focus on in order to study. We have gotten a ton of snow here in the last, I guess, 48 hours. Probably yesterday on the way to the down into the valley, it was just bananas. And this is sort of interesting. Oh, that's not good. I think we got like 21 or 22 inches, and it's still snowing. It's not snowing super hard right now, but it's still snowing. I don't think it's over, and the power's out here. It's like I have no light, I have no power, I can't open the garage, so I have no electricity, it's crazy. I know you guys have been waiting for these Death Valley videos, and honestly I've been waiting to edit them. I'm super stoked to be able to start, because the whole trip was planned with AJ, and he's a photographer by trade, a remarkable one, and really has an eye and knows like the places that are gonna look really pretty in camera. The places that he took us are just incredibly scenic and cinematic. This first video, I'm doing something a little bit different, and I want you to just pay attention. I'm messing around and playing with different camera things. Got a new GoPro Hero 7, playing around with the time-lapse mode, and I played around with the in-camera time-lapse on this Canon EOS R, whatever. And yeah. It's cold outside. It's 15 degrees, 14 degrees right now. I love the cold. I'm really loving it up here. But everybody's saying it's desert camping season, so we're gonna head down south to the desert.
No, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not.
We usually start trips out by stopping somewhere and getting snacks. Okay, so we're headed down to Death Valley, and we've got about a 7-hour drive ahead of us. Well, probably 6.5 hours now. We're gonna be driving through parts of the country that I've never driven through before. I'm really excited about that. But I wanted to talk about something today that I've been kind of thinking about. That hopefully it's nothing rocket sciencey, but hopefully it's something that will be of use to you. I want to talk about the 5 ways that I prepare for a trip. I've been thinking a lot about this the last couple of days, and really, okay, so point number 1. The first thing that I do to prepare for a trip is I reset all of my stuff when I get back from a trip, like the last trip. And so what I mean when I say that is that when I get back, and I'm not perfect about this every single time, but this is the intention, this is the goal. When I get back from a trip, I completely I take everything out of the car from the trip, clean, you know, I don't really clean, but I kind of cleaned everything out, and I kind of reset the vehicle, and then I also reset the trailer. Dirty laundry comes out, like things like towels, and I put everything back to where it goes. I don't take like everything off the vehicle, and I don't take everything out of the trailer. Things that like can stay there, obviously stay there, but I reset everything to the way it was, not only before the trip, but to a point to where it's ready to go next time. So, how was lunch?
Great, amazing.
Was it all right?
Yeah!
So, lunch is over. The second way that I prepare for our trips is like, I make a list. I make lists for everything. I have a running list going for everything that I need. And if I happen to be on a trip, and I like have forgotten something, which today I realized that there was something that I wanted on the list that wasn't on the list, and it was headphones for the kids. I make a list, and it's real simple. It's just in the notes app on my iPhone, and I just basically copy and paste it into a new note whenever I'm going on a trip, and I'll sometimes do it a week or two in advance to just kind of start prepping myself. This time around I needed to fill up the propane tanks, and I took care of that early on in the week because I was out and about, and I just whatever. Some things that I'll have on my list, they're real simple, like clothes, groceries, medicine, towels, campfire, propane tanks refilled, fill water tank, sneakers, toiletry bag, camera, mic, all of my camera gear, everything. Anything that I think I might want, need, or use sometime in the future, I put it on the list. And if I know that I don't need to get the propane tanks refilled next time around, I'll just go ahead and mark it off on the list, and that's done. We're about 3 hours from meeting up with AJ. It's still pretty cold outside. It says my watch is over here, it's 40 degrees. Feels cooler than that in the shade. I'm hoping it's gonna continue to warm up as we get further south, but we'll see. So I got the new GoPro Hero 7. Actually, this started out by getting the new, it's not new, the GoPro Fusion. I thought that would be really cool because I could like just capture everything around me and then frame up whatever I wanted later on. Turns out it's kind of a mini nightmare. Actually, like it's a big nightmare working with the footage. It's just too much. It takes forever to render. It's just, can't do it. But I got this because I wanted to try it out and kind of see the last one I bought was the Hero 5. Worked fine. This one so far, preliminary tests, color's really good, color grade's really good, quality's really good, and the whole gimbal thing. The fact that you don't need a gimbal because the stabilization here is really good is actually, so far, totally incredible. What do you say we get some GoPro footage? The third thing I do in order to prepare for my camping trip is actually also something that that I kind of keep doing, and it's keeping the trailer packed. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I started doing these types of trips, why I got a trailer into the mix here. And it's primarily because the first couple of trips that I went on when I didn't have a trailer, I'd spend like a good solid 1 to 2 days preparing for the trip. When I get back, I usually either within a couple of days of getting back, or within you know, a week or two prior to going on another trip, I will replenish certain supplies, things like dry goods, dry groceries, canned goods, oatmeal, things that that I'm going to use every time that don't go bad. I keep chairs, I keep my tables, I keep just everything that's normally gonna just stay in the trailer, I'll keep it in there. If I know like the next several trips or months or whatever are gonna be like cold weather months, I'll keep the vestibule, awning vestibule room thing in there. The fourth thing I do in preparing for these camping trips is I download all my maps before the trip. And so basically what that means is I use Gaia GPS. And Gaia GPS, it's a, I've used a bunch of different, GPS apps, if you will, platforms, and it's really been my favorite thus far. I haven't found anything else. I haven't really tried a whole lot in a while, but when I was looking for something that worked, it worked. I haven't felt the need, there hasn't been like deficiencies to where I felt the need to like explore some other options, so I've just stuck with it. But the cool thing is you can go in, you can plan out your routes and tracks and waypoints and all that stuff on desktop and a browser, and then you can save all that stuff if you got the premium membership, which is like 40 bucks a year or something. I can download the maps that I want for offline use. So basically your phone has a GPS receiver in it. If you have maps data downloaded onto your device, it'll tell you where you are. The apps like Gaia, you can even do this on Google Maps, but apps like Gaia will allow you to download these maps for offline use, and that way if you don't have cell service, you can still see where you're at. So that's what I do. I download all the maps on my iPhone and on my iPad. Sometimes the kids will use the iPad for movies, so I'll use this as backup, but I prefer to use the iPad. And then what I do is when I'm out on the trail, I actually record my tracks and routes, which by the way, if you support us on Patreon, you have access to those recorded tracks and routes and waypoints and campsites and data and photos and all that stuff that I record in Gaia. But that's the fourth thing I do. Okay, so the fifth and final thing that I do in order to prepare for our camping trips, I'm sorry it's a little bumpy here, is that I do my meal planning. This week we're just macaroni and cheese and hot dogs. I basically start up my meal planning with doing dinner stuff first, because those are the more complex meals, and then lunch is easier, and then breakfast is even easier. I know I mentioned this earlier, but that's really the last thing that I do. The biggest component in all of this is that list. It's going back and forth and making sure that I get everything, and I check and recheck that list to make sure I don't forget anything. The meal planning part is pretty important though, because what you don't want to do is obviously get out of the woods and or out in the middle of nowhere and not have the food that you want. And so with the meal planning, we create the grocery list, and with the grocery list, I go I like to get my grocery shopping done before I leave town. I used to do it on the way out of town, but it's just, I don't know, that's one more thing to do while I'm traveling, and it means more delays, etc., etc. So I like to keep it as simple as possible in terms of traveling to whatever destination we're going to. Speaking of delays, we were supposed to be here about 4 o'clock. It's about 4:45 right now. We're probably, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes from there. So a little bit delayed. Lighting, timing, everything is off. It is what it is. AJ's already there. I've got spotty cell service, but we are just crossed the border into California, and we're coming up on it. This is going to be interesting though, because from the last gas station to our destination, it says it was 88 miles, and I didn't see any gas stations around. I've got plenty of spare fuel, but it's going to be interesting nonetheless. Let's see here. Okay, so he says he's going to drive to the entrance of Dumont Road. I think that's where we are. All of a sudden I have no service. I had service, now I don't have service. How you doing?
Made it.
Made it. So were you back that way?
Yeah, like maybe 2 or 3 miles.
So it had me going down here. Was that wrong, I guess, huh?
No, this is Dumont Road.
Okay. All right, cool.
All right, man.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll follow you.
Okay, cool.
All right, so if you don't know AJ, his Instagram handle is Fotornr, F-O-T-O-R-N-R. You know, and in this process of, you know, being on Instagram and sharing content and sort of like growing an audience and doing all of this stuff, I've seen a lot of people come on. I've seen a lot of people, you know, sort of the consistency drop off. But then I've also seen a lot of people that have just gotten better. And AJ's been one of those, but he's a photographer. The quality, it speaks for itself. If you're not following him, you really ought to be.
Might have some bottom ones when you're reversing. Holy hell.
What'd you say?
Running down that thing was so fun.
Was it?
Yes.
Good.
Oh, it is.
Do you want to go up over there, or is this good?
I don't know. I mean, we gotta. So I'm aired down already.
Okay.
So I can go just buzz up and over.
Yeah.
I want to see what that valve. I don't know if that's in the middle of the dunes and people are like, rah! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me check it out real fast.
Okay. Yeah.
And if I get stuck, I'll honk.
Yeah. I'm perfect here. I'm just as level as I want to be. So if we stay here, I'm good. Man, I got to get my lighting game on. I'm working on it.
It's totally empty on that side.
Oh, look at you up there.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a beautiful shot.
Heck yeah. All right, come on. Let's go move the truck.
Okay, 1 second. Coming.
I got air down. I don't know if you can see me very well, but I can't make it up unless I air down. I may be able to go around. We'll see. I meant to bring a battery. I forgot to bring a battery. Hopefully this doesn't die in the middle of it. Let's try it again.
For now on, I'm gonna just call you AJ.
That's fine. I like it. I don't have the trailer. Oh yeah, he's got it now.
Oh, you're still recording. Did you see that? We made it. We made it. Almost no problem, except for right now. I'm technically stuck, but we can back down. It shouldn't be a problem. All right. Dinner is done. Camp setup is done. How's the lighting on that? It's almost 10 o'clock. Time to go to bed. If you don't know AJ, you'll meet him tomorrow because it was dark and it's kind of hard to meet somebody in the dark. He's up here though. I promise you, he's right here. See if we can figure out the settings on this. There we are. There's AJ right there. I got ISO cranked up to 20,000. What's up, AJ?
What's up?
Once again, my name is Jason Kirchie, and really appreciate you guys coming along for the ride today. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, share this video with lots of friends, like it, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next time. Bye.